Okay, peace everyone. It's D, you know. I'm gonna try to keep this real brief. They, the nation, the powers that be, want us talking about race. Fine, let's talk about race. Here I am at the NAACP, their homepage. What does it say? It says the incarceration trends in America from 1980 to 2008, the number of people incarcerated in America quadrupled from roughly 500,000 to 2.3 million. Now that I definitely will believe, give or take a few digits. Today, the U.S. is 5% of the world population and has 25% of the world prisoners. Well, I believe that too. Combining the number of people in prison and jail with those under parole or probation supervision, 1 in every 31 adults, or 3.2% of the population, is under some form of correctional control. I'm going to pause for a minute while I scroll down. Okay, racial disparities. African Americans now constitute 1 million of the total 2.3 million incarcerated in America. So that's saying 1 in 2.3. Almost 1 in 2.5, basically. So that's an African American. And there's 2 other people. And we'll call that line the half. So that's what they're stating right now. Okay. Together, African American and Hispanics comprise 58% of all prisoners in 2008, even though African Americans and Hispanics make up approximately 1/4 of the U.S. population. It goes on and on to cite statistics, which I'm sure you can read if this thing stops being blurry. The thing that interested me, 1 in 6 black men had been incarcerated as of 2001. If current trends continue, 1 in 3 black males born today can expect to spend time in prison during his lifetime. Okay. There's your 1 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're saying if the trends continue, it's going to be 1 in 3. So here we have, let's say it's 1 in 2. Because, racism, racist bastards. They want us talking about race. Let's talk about race. I never had slaves. I was 2 hops off the boat. As a matter of fact, my Italian-American grandmother, and I don't refer to her as Italian-American, I refer to my family as American, but in any case, she came off the boat, and she did not get any handouts. As a matter of fact, she sent my father and his 3 brothers to school in what pants that she sewed that were made out of old school potato bags, which ironically were hemp. Another story for another day. What is my point? Well, if we scroll down a little bit more, they talk about drug sentencing disparities, which I totally agree with. I think that white people do get off easy, and black people, it's Blackie in front of a judge. He's got to be a drug kingpin. But of course, in most of these situations, it's environment that causes people to, and not just black people, but any people, to turn to crime. To even talk about this, if you're black, you're an Uncle Tom, like I said before. If you're white, you're racist. My 2 debates on both sides are this. On the black side, I understand the absolute insane, impoverished conditions of the ghettos. On the white side, I've seen white ghettos too. I might have mentioned this. I'm originally from Ohio, living in the Bay Area in California. Been living here for 6.5 years. Long story short, Cleveland can be divided into literally 3 parts. You got the lake up north, so that doesn't count. Downtown Cleveland is your business district. West Cleveland is your white trash, your white crackheads and your white meth heads. East Cleveland is your black trash, your black meth heads and crackheads and Hayron addicts and what have you. And yeah, there is disparity in sentencing. More black people get more time, at least in my home city, than white people did or do. So I believe that. And of course, everything south of Cleveland is, as they used to call it, the Great White Flight. The Great White Flight, suburbia. And believe it or not, Ohio is not as backwards as most people think. Like, if you go out in the boonies, like Bath, Ohio, where Jeffrey Dahmer was from, like, yeah, you're going to experience some redneck hillbillies. One more second while I scroll down. Okay, now you have the contributing factors. You can really read these without me having to go through all of it. I disagree with the 3 strikes policy. I think that if you do your time, you shouldn't be reprimanded. And as repulsive as it sounds, I don't agree with scarlet lettering people. Do I think child molesters should be able to run free? No. But instead of putting a scarlet letter on them, let's keep them in prison for life. Couple stats, and I'll finish with this. And like I said, these are well-known statistics, and the site I am reading all this stuff from is the NAACP website. Basically, you can read the cost and the effects there. Couple points. One, there's more black on black and black on white crime than there is white on black crime. That's not to say that there is not racist hillbillies. There are. I came from Ohio, for God's sakes. And secondly, my whole point to this whole video, everyone wants to talk about race. The reverend, the tax evader, the tax cheat. All these people are trying to stir up race. We are not in a race warfare. There will always be racism. I have said this before. We are in a class warfare. A class warfare. And all of this is just a diversion. It's a diversion from what's really going on. From land grabs, from things that the elite think are too above our heads for us to understand. We need to prove them otherwise. I am only posing questions. I am not trying to, bait race wars here. As a matter of fact, just the opposite. I think that people should wake up to the fact that, yes, there will always be some form of racism, but no, that is not the primary problem. It's called divide and conquer. You get the black people angry at the Hispanics. You get the Hispanics angry at the whites. You get the whites angry at anybody. You get, and then what it becomes is you have the entitlements, which makes it less fair for some, more fair for others, and of course it's all in the eye of the beholder. But what it's really doing is it's just stirring the pot. It's stirring the pot and it's stirring up crap. And I am of the belief that you can be 14 years old and act like you're 40, and vice versa. You can be a white piece of crap. You can be the best black person on earth, and vice versa. And I think that it is all a giant diversion. Watch some other people's videos. You'll see what's going on. But let me just leave it with what you already know. On a total side note, come on. 2 planes took down 3 buildings at free fall speed. That's how I'm going to end this recording. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to end it exactly at 9:11. So peace.